High in the Himalayas, explorers have found monks who seem unchanged by time. These mysterious monks may have lived since the last ice age, practicing ancient rituals and holding lost knowledge. How is it possible they survived for so long? What do they know that we don't? Join us as we uncover their astonishing story. What lurks beyond the ice? Before starting the journey, a question arises in your mind. You wonder what lies beyond the well-known paths carved into the Himalayas by explorers over the centuries. As soon as you take the first step, the air feels different. There is a sense of excitement, a feeling that something amazing is waiting just beyond what is familiar. A small group of climbers embarks on a journey into a region rarely visited and barely mapped. The peaks tower above, sharp and jagged, and the wind blows icy gusts that swirl loose snow into glimmering spirals in the sunlight. Each careful step upward reveals new signs that the land ahead may contain secrets never before discovered by the world. High above, where most climbers usually set up camp, the team sees a shadow on a light-colored stone slab. Initially, it looks like just a hollow created by the weather. However, as they get closer, they realize it is actually an entrance intentionally carved into the cliff. The opening lines up perfectly with the sun coming up, casting a warm amber light on the stone. This discovery makes the climbers pause. No culture is known to have constructed buildings at such high altitudes, but here is a secret doorway ready to be investigated. Faint geometric patterns can be seen along the walls at the entrance. The carvings are intricate and indicate a high level of understanding of symmetry and logic. Some of the patterns resemble constellations, while others may represent changes in seasons or movement of glaciers. The researchers are confused because these markings do not match those of any known Himalayan group. They wonder if they could belong to a lost civilization, or if they are evidence of something even older than the earliest tribes in the area. Inside the passage, the temperature decreases quickly. The air is calm, almost eerie. Rock formations are strategically placed to lead the explorers further, indicating a specific purpose rather than being randomly formed. The hallway opens up into a room with frost-covered walls that sparkle like glass dust. In this chamber, the team discovers the initial artifacts. These items are organized with purpose, suggesting a shrine or ceremonial space. Included are smooth stones with unfamiliar symbols etched into them, and carved sticks made from trees not found in the Himalayas. Deep inside, there is a small space that contains pieces of old fabric that are well preserved due to the cold environment. The patterns on the fabric are very detailed and complex, indicating that it was not made by ordinary people living in the mountains. The material has not deteriorated like it should have according to modern scientific knowledge, and some parts of it still have traces of color, which is quite remarkable given the high altitude. The way these artifacts are arranged indicates that the ancient residents of this place had advanced abilities, beliefs, and ways to stay alive that were previously unknown to historians for such harsh living conditions. In another part of the chamber, there are stone bowls arranged in a half circle. They have a powdery substance inside, which may have been used for early preservation ceremonies. The substance is being collected for testing, suggesting that these caves were used for more than just living spaces. It is believed that they were also used for rituals before exploring further into the caves. This find indicates that there was a highly organized and advanced community that existed during the Ice Age in ways that were not thought possible before. As the explorers head towards a dark tunnel, they see a narrow path of rock smoothed by many footsteps, indicating that the cave was not left empty after the glaciers melted. It is possible that the cave was inhabited for many generations, with people who found ways to survive the cold that are still unknown to scientists today. Subtle clues indicate something unusual is going on. Light pressure marks in the snowy dust show there has been activity recently. The frost looks disturbed, like something has just passed through the passage. The hidden guardian of the Himalayan. The group becomes quiet as they enter the narrow hallway connected to the entrance room. The low light only illuminates part of the floor ahead, but there is a feeling in the air that someone has been there recently. The sound is absorbed by the walls, and they start to feel excited as they go further into the passage. It seems like they are getting closer to something that has been kept secret from people for thousands of years. As they turn a corner in the tunnel, they see a faint light shining ahead. and it seems too constant to be a reflection. They cautiously proceed and reach a cavern much bigger than expected. The cavern extends upwards into darkness, hiding the ceiling from sight. In the middle of the cavern there is a circle of neatly arranged stones. Inside the circle sits a motionless figure, almost as if they were expecting someone to come. The group takes a slow breath as they see the figure is alive. He stands tall and calm, wearing robes made of an unfamiliar material. Frost covers his shoulders, but he doesn't seem bothered. His eyes look clear and bright, showing no signs of age or fatigue. It's obvious they are facing someone with an extraordinary ability to withstand the cold. As the old man stands up, he moves gracefully and intentionally. His every movement is slow yet meaningful, showing his extensive training. He exudes a calm confidence in everything he does, showing no fear or surprise towards the intruders. Instead, he observes them with a mix of interest and familiarity, as if he already knows why they are there. He starts talking in a unique dialect that is not like any other known language today. His way of speaking gives clues to an ancient origin that goes back before the first people in the Himalayas. The explorers are paying close attention to every word, realizing that this is an incredible linguistic find. What is even more amazing is how he controls his breathing, keeping himself warm in the cold air by maintaining a steady rhythm. The elder uses a kind gesture to ask the group to go with him to another part of the cave. He walks confidently on icy paths and touches stalactites without showing any signs of feeling cold. Seeing how strong he is makes the researchers rethink what they know about how humans can adapt. It seems possible, even probable, that this man comes from ancestors who lived in very cold places and survived. He takes them into a room that is very quiet and still, similar to nighttime. The walls are made of stone with shelves holding objects made from rare minerals found in ancient Himalayan layers. These objects include ceremonial tools and early measuring devices that suggest a high level of knowledge in astronomy, temperature patterns, and seasonal changes. This knowledge does not match any known civilization from the last ice age. When you examine the elderly man's physical appearance more closely, you notice some interesting things. His skin has faint markings that look like natural insulation, and his heartbeat stays steady even when he's exposed to the elements and moving around. Tests reveal that he has a surprisingly low breathing rate, indicating he may have a high level of control over his oxygen consumption. His eyes don't show any signs of aging, and everything about him suggests that he has lived a life shaped by harsh conditions, strict training, and possibly knowledge passed down through generations who were isolated from the rest of the world. One more incredible moment happens when he touches a part of ice on the floor of the chamber. The ice melts a little under his touch, creating a small pool that freezes again quickly. People watching notice a slight increase in his skin temperature as he breathes, showing he can control his internal heat with accuracy. This goes against what we know about how our bodies regulate temperature, and implies there may be a lost skill for surviving, either through biology, meditation, or both. A quietness fills the air as the older man goes back into the large cave, looking at the explorers with a mix of friendliness and wariness on his face. Just his being there indicates that this mountain hideaway safeguards not just physical objects, but also wisdom passed down through thousands of years of thriving in harsh environments that would have been deadly for anyone who wasn't ready. The secrets of the ancient sanctuary. The cavern is silent and tense as the explorers follow the elder further into the sanctuary. He walks confidently, indicating that he is taking them to something significant. Despite this, his face reveals nothing about what is to come. The temperature increases as they progress, even though no sunlight can reach this area of the cave. The warmth appears to be emanating from the ground. It is slight but detectable, suggesting that the monks who used to reside here may have influenced their surroundings through mental focus and intention. The small hallway leads to a room filled with soft blue light, coming from pools of mineral-rich water that naturally shine. An elder sits down next to one of the pools in a meditative position, signaling the start of a ritual. The explorers are unsure of what they are about to see. They quietly get ready with their instruments, with the room's silence making every sound more pronounced. even the slight movement of water. The older man starts taking slow, controlled breaths to begin a ritual. His careful inhaling is the first step in the process. Each time his chest expands, it is done with precision, and the rhythm of his breathing seems to affect the water around him. As he continues, the temperature of the pool gradually increases. The researchers are amazed by what they are witnessing. There are no heaters, no fire, and no visible heat source. The warmth seems to be solely connected to the man's breathing. This indicates an impressive physiological adaptation. Through intense focus, he is able to produce heat internally, changing his metabolism to warm up the pool without any outside help. As the elder shifts into what appears to be sensory withdrawal, there is a change. His eyelids start to droop, and he becomes more introspective. His pulse slows down significantly, and a faint glow can be seen on his skin, indicating better blood circulation. The onlookers understand this to be the next phase of the ritual. The silence grows deeper, with only the soft sound of air flowing through the cave breaking it. The elder keeps a flawless posture, without any signs of shaking or effort. It is evident that these methods have been perfected over many years. The atmosphere of the chamber suddenly changes once more. The ritual progresses to a different phase. The elder lifts his hands with palms facing out, and his skin emits warmth in a smooth manner. The explorers notice a sudden increase in temperature. This is not something that can be explained by the body's natural temperature regulation. The cold environment and the rapid change in temperature is puzzling. The elder's ability to emit heat goes against all known science about the human body. Two young monks suddenly emerge from a side corridor without making any noise. They surprise everyone with their appearance, but they move with the same level of discipline as the elder monk. The two monks put smooth stones in a straight line in front of the elder monk. Together, they engage in a coordinated ritual. The three of them start synchronizing their breathing. Their collective rhythm seems to change the air around them into a warm, pulsating energy, creating a pocket of heat in the otherwise freezing cave, as later recounted by the explorers. A surprising moment happens when the youngest monk shows a skill. He breathes out slowly and a small amount of steam comes out of his mouth. The warmth is from his body, not the surroundings. His skin turns slightly red as his blood flow increases. This is like a controlled form of overheating, but without the usual harmful outcomes. Scientists watching notice that his internal temperature only goes up in certain areas, not all over his body. In another display, a monk shows how he can control his muscles and organs through concentrated thinking. One monk demonstrates by placing his hand on his stomach and making the muscle tighten on its own. This control helps him withstand pressure, hunger, and physical effort for much longer than an average person. The explorers carefully record each movement, breath, and change in temperature. They come to understand that these abilities show a deep understanding of the human body that modern science has mostly forgotten. Finally, the older man opens his eyes, showing that the ritual is over. His look gives the explorers a message that they can sense but not understand. He starts breathing normally again, and the room gets colder. The only sound is the ice melting in the distance. The scientists realize they have seen a tradition born out of tough circumstances where people had to really know how to control their bodies to survive. These rituals might have helped this group of people survive through different climates, being cut off from others, and changes in the earth that wiped out other civilizations. Secrets carved in ice. The explorers feel a quiet and exciting sense of anticipation as they enter the narrow passage mentioned by the elder. They move with caution and purpose, as if the walls are waiting for something. The corridor slopes downward, leading them into a colder part of the mountain. The air becomes sharper and clearer, making each breath feel refreshing. Their footsteps create soft echoes that seem to sparkle in the silence. The walls are filled with mineral veins that catch the dim light, giving the explorers the sense that this space has been undisturbed for hundreds or even thousands of years. As they walk down the hallway, they come across a large room with plenty of space. The room is softly lit by a reflection of light, not from fire but from thin sheets of ice on the ceiling. These icy sheets spread the light from the explorers' lanterns all over the floor, showing detailed carvings on the walls. The carvings depict a timeline of events with amazing clarity, telling captivating stories with each panel. The explorers observe migrations that have not been seen before by modern archaeologists. People wearing heavy clothes are shown moving with animals adapted to cold climates. The carvings show journeys across large icy plains, long before recorded Himalayan history. These paintings indicate that the monks' ancestors preserved their culture from a time when ice covered the land much more than it does now. One specific panel stands out. It depicts a group of people gathered around a fire in the snow. The fire is portrayed as very important, shown with detailed lines that suggest respect and guidance. This artwork seems to show the first methods of controlling temperature that the explorers have seen. It suggests that these practices started as ways to survive when staying warm meant staying alive. Further into the sanctuary, additional carvings start to appear. These carvings show extinct large animals that look like ancient mountain giants and herbivores with tusks. Alongside these creatures are hunters holding tools that show advanced skills. These tools are different from anything discovered in the ancient mountain civilizations studied by archaeologists. The size, design, and markings on these weapons indicate a unique technological heritage, indicating that the monks' predecessors could thrive in environments where today's humans couldn't survive. The murals suddenly change tone. One scene shows a disaster happening: strong winds, heavy snow, and ice cliffs crumbling. People in the mural are seen moving into narrow mountain corridors, similar to the ones the explorers passed through. This indicates that the monks' ancestors may have sought safety deep in the mountains to avoid a violent weather event, possibly the reason they chose to live in isolation. Another part of the discovery shows a group of symbols that are completely unique. These symbols are carefully arranged in specific patterns, creating a coded system rather than just being decorative. The researchers understand that this might be one of the earliest forms of recording observations about the environment on Earth, such as tracking seasons, star movements, or geological processes. The shiny reflections catch the eye, revealing small dents in the floor. Groups of smooth rocks lie in these dents, with each set representing a different time period of the monk's journey. The rocks come in different colors and textures, with some containing minerals not typically found in the Himalayas. This indicates that the monks' relatives traveled far, bringing these stones as mementos of their travels. A small tunnel off to the side leads to another area. The carvings there are impressive, showing how monks' spiritual practices evolved. The early carvings depict basic postures and breathing exercises meant for concentration and warmth. As time went on, the carvings show more advanced meditation techniques, similar to what the explorers had seen before. These murals show that these practices took many years to develop and perfect. Finally, in the mysterious chamber, there are monks gathered around a large door carved into the cliff. Above the door, there is a symbol that looks like an eye staring upwards at a swirling sky. This indicates there may be a secret area inside the mountain, possibly still closed off, holding the monks' ancient knowledge. The hidden manuscript of the mountain monks. The explorers feel a calm sense of alertness as they go with the elder into a small hidden space behind the last mural. The room is different from any they have seen before. The air feels denser, like it holds a delicate memory. The cold from the nearby halls disappears, replaced by a slight dryness, suggesting this area has been sealed for a long time, well before it was affected by the outside world. In the middle of the room, there is a quiet stone platform with a wrapped bundle made of old, worn materials. The older person moves away, allowing the explorers to come closer. They are cautious as they open the bundle, expecting to find something amazing. They uncover a unique manuscript made of thin, bark-like material that has been well preserved for centuries. The ink on the pages is mineral-based and still vibrant, not faded by time. While analyzing the manuscript, they notice something unusual that catches their eye. The writing is different from any other writing system used in the area. The characters in the script have a unique pattern of flowing curves and sharp angles. Each line of text appears to flow smoothly into the next, as if the words were meant to be both read and spoken. This find suggests that the monks who wrote it may have encoded their knowledge using a combination of spoken word and symbols, merging thought with physical movement, voice with sight. The explorers start by trying to translate the text. They look at the symbols that keep appearing and notice patterns that might represent seasons or cycles related to the stars. One part of the text stands out because it talks about how the climate was changing. It describes how their ancestors had to move from the plains to the mountains to escape the bad weather. The text also mentions a time of really bad storms, extremely cold temperatures, and harsh weather that put all living things in danger. These writings match up well with what science tells us about sudden changes in the climate at the end of the last ice age, suggesting that the monks who wrote them knew about important historical events. In a damaged part of the manuscript, there is a troubling finding. It indicates that the monks learned how to survive after seeing whole tribes disappear in the coldest years. The manuscript explains advanced ways to cope with harsh conditions, such as conserving body heat, controlling breathing, and reaching a state between awake and asleep. The monks perfected these techniques to survive in conditions that would be too much for regular people, showing incredible endurance. Upon further inspection, a last piece of the manuscript adds to the mystery by mentioning a secret sanctuary hidden deep in the mountains. This sanctuary is meant for knowledge that is deemed too powerful for those outside. The text cautions that only those who have fully mastered the discipline of both body and mind can safely enter. For the untrained, attempting to enter could be deadly. The explorers start to understand that everything they have come across, the murals, the rituals, and now this manuscript, all point towards a central secret that still needs to be uncovered. The monks who once inhabited the area left behind a wisdom system that is carefully structured, leading only the deserving towards it. The secret sanctuary described in the text appears to contain knowledge that goes beyond what most people can understand. It was made to store and safeguard knowledge, and possibly to test it as well. Each page of the manuscript shows that it was made with a specific purpose in mind. The symbols, shapes, and lines could have been intended to educate, caution, and lead others. The writing style suggests that the information was meant to be actively engaged with, using both the body and the mind, rather than just looked at passively. The explorers are thinking about the significance of this discovery. The manuscript tells stories of people facing challenges, natural disasters, and doing whatever it takes to stay alive. It also suggests that the monks had a spiritual or mental strength that helped them endure hardships that others couldn't. The manuscript shows a mix of practical survival skills and mental toughness, indicating that the hidden sanctuary might contain centuries' worth of knowledge, wisdom, and techniques that were only meant for those in the mountains. As the explorers flip through the pages, they begin to realize how much knowledge the monks have. The manuscript connects the natural world with human abilities and history with the mysteries of the mind. It documents pain, strength, and skill in a detailed yet enigmatic manner. The explorers understand that grasping the full meaning of the manuscript will require a lot of time, but even their initial understanding reveals the monks' remarkable foresight and cleverness. The alcove contributes to a feeling of holiness and secrecy. The monks seem to have planned for their knowledge to last a long time, waiting for someone to uncover it. The explorers feel a sense of respect, realizing they may be on the brink of a discovery that could alter their view of history and the capabilities of humans. Secrets of the Frozen Monastery. The explorers fell silent as the elder pointed to a hidden passage behind the bookshelf. The air around them felt charged with energy as they moved closer. All the surfaces glittered with frost, but the cold felt slightly different here, more inviting. The elder's gaze held a sense of peace and assurance. It seemed to silently warn the explorers of something important. The group is surprised by a sudden movement. The older and younger monks disappear quickly. There are no footprints on the floor and no warmth in the air, but they are still there. Their absence is noticeable and creates an empty feeling. The explorers look around the room quickly, but everything seems untouched. The only things left are intentional. Stones arranged in patterns, small wooden carvings, and rare mineral fragments. The team starts to grasp the meaning behind the objects they have found. The objects are not just leftovers, but instead carry a message. The way the objects are arranged indicates a purposeful code, like a map or a warning meant for those who can understand the ancient logic of the monastery. The explorers start documenting every pattern they come across. They take pictures and measure each object with precision. Every detail in the arrangement seems to be deliberate. The intricate design hints at knowledge that has been passed down for centuries. The team begins to suspect that the monks may have left behind clues leading to a hidden sanctuary buried even deeper in the mountain. A slight breeze blows through the cave, bringing the smell of herbs that no longer exist. Scientists observe that the air in the cave seems to remember things. It contains remnants of many rituals that have been preserved chemically in the space. This finding shows that the monks' impact goes beyond just their bodies. The things they did changed the environment subtly, so only those who pay close attention can understand their messages. The explorers are intrigued by another unique feature. They notice a shiny black stone in the wall that reflects light from their lanterns in interesting ways. It seems to guide them towards unexplored corridors. The team carefully notes the direction of the stone, thinking it may lead to a secret area. Everything in the chamber seems deliberate and meant to last through the ages. It's clear the civilization that built it wanted to keep their existence a secret. The explorers are deeply affected by the implications. The monks going missing make the explorers question their knowledge of biology, physics, and the limits of human strength. The explorers wonder if the monks had the ability to control energy, heat, or perception in ways that modern science cannot explain. Evidence indicates that the monks' ability to control their minds and bodies helped them survive alone for thousands of years. They had rituals, preserved their memories, and shared their knowledge without leaving any typical evidence behind. The explorers start to understand the incredible discipline and intelligence needed to maintain these practices. The last inspection of the chamber uncovers delicate carvings near the top of the ceiling that are barely noticeable at first. These carvings show patterns of stars, glaciers, and seasons in an abstract way. They seem to represent a timeline that existed before human history and that area was recorded. The explorers realize that they have only seen a small part of what the mountain and its mysterious inhabitants have to offer. There may be other chambers, artifacts, and knowledge that are still unreachable, waiting for those who can decipher the methods and symbols of the monks. The disappeared monks have left behind objects, paintings, and a document that show a civilization that is older than any recorded history. This secret group has survived quietly through harsh conditions, challenging what humans think about standing the test of time, intelligence, and staying alive. Every item, design, and engraving is a planned message meant to be understood for generations. The monks' impact continues, not in bodies, but in the surroundings, in the organized structures, and in the rituals that have been preserved. Their legacy is an active account, expecting observant individuals to figure out its meaning. Every aspect of the room supports the idea of significance and smartness. The stones, carvings, and minerals are not placed randomly. They are positioned in a way that shows an understanding of shapes, the natural world, and how humans think. The explorers understand that decoding these messages will take time, focus, and appreciation for the surroundings.